What's happening? Dustin here with Dustin's Customs, and I'm working on the car, and last week I said guess, and yeah, you guessed it. So let's go ahead and look at what I got going on. Okay, so as of right now, I have the K-member kind of bolted in. It's not all the way tightened, but it's kind of tight. I got the strange 10 ways and the Viking is in. I painted my spindles. I was going to paint my calipers, but I really don't feel like taking them apart and bleeding the whole system, even though I do need to take them apart eventually because my line lock is not working. So I have to mess with the solenoid. And just up there, those things. I was going to show how to put these together. I'll give you a quick reference. Anyways, I do have a leaky oil pan. So I did buy a new Felpro oil pan gasket. I did not get the cork one. I went ahead and got like, you know, the nice gasket. I'm not putting that on right now because I ordered a 10AN bung to weld onto the oil pan for the turbo return, and the bung's not gonna be here until next Sunday or something like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the car back together. Really, since all the bolts are broke, it only takes me about an hour to get the K-member out of the car. Now that it's all freshly broken again, it's not gonna take that long. So I'm gonna put the car together, and then when the bung gets here, I'll drop the K-member again, and then we'll weld that bung on and do the gasket at the same time. But I did get the gasket. For a lot of people, if you don't want to do the work, I don't drive this car, so it doesn't matter. But if you need to get the car on the road while you're doing something like the K-member, I would suggest go ahead and do that gasket because it's just notorious for these 4.6s. Get the nice gasket, don't get the cork one, and try to paint everything. I could say, like, I painted my brake brackets, my dust shield, my spindles. I was gonna paint my calipers, but I'm not going to. Just do things like that while you got it apart makes more sense. Yes, I'm gonna take it apart twice, but it is what it is, and it doesn't take me very long. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and finish up this. I got the caster camber plates. Caster camber plates are in. They need to be locked down. Everything pretty much needs to be locked down. And after that, we'll go ahead. I'm not gonna set the car on the ground. I do have one leak. My my transmission cooler is leaking right at a fitting. I don't know what that's about. I'm gonna go ahead and check that out. And yeah, maybe I'll get this thing put back together today. The main thing is just mocking things up. I had to get a few new bolts. I got grade 8 bolts for a few things, and just gotta fine tune some things. So I'll get back to it. Okay, so I got a quick tip here. The nuts, I think it's, what is it? 15 for the nuts for these, what do you call them, sway bar links. 15 here, but when you do it, it tries to spin. But quick tip, right here, just like a screwdriver, you can put a wrench on it. It's got a flat spot to hold it. So you can hold it and turn the wrench to get it off from there. Alright folks, I got this thing all battened down, grade 8 bolts up there. I got the brakes going. I still gotta tighten that castle nut. A few things. It comes with washers that go here on both sides of those 2 bolts, and then it comes with this one right here. From what I read, people are putting it up here, but I'm putting it down here because then it presses down into this and locks the bushing down. And in other words, you're just turning on your bushing. That didn't make any sense to me. I wish I would have painted these brake calipers, but as of right now, the line lock right there is not working, so I have to break those lines and bleed this. Another thing, the suspension is in. I kind of got it singled up in there with the caster camber plates. I did paint my strut tower just to get some rust. But that side's all assembled. I still got to put the steering back together. Tubular K-member is in. I got to fasten this down, of course, get an alignment, put the motor back down on it, but this side is totally buttoned up. Put the inner fender on. I did get the one with the sway bar. If it gets in the way with the turbo kit, or if I just don't need it one day, I'll just cut them off. Like I said, this K-members and everything's got to come back out to do the oil pan gasket, but right now my 10AN bung is taking a little longer than I wanted. I was hoping I'd get it tomorrow, but it looks like we're not getting it till next Sunday, so I got to take all this back out to put the oil pan in. Now, why would I do that? I like to be able to roll the car around if need be. And on this side, it's still apart. Everything's just loosely in there. I did get the sway bar link on there. Everything's there. Capsule nuts the same way. I still need to tighten these bolts. I need to put the washers in on that one and tighten that down. So here's the old K-member. This thing, that thing is freaking heavy. Old control arms. It's out of the car. This thing, I don't know how much it weighs. Let me see. I would say that weighs 25 pounds, maybe 30. These right here, those are almost as heavy as the K-member. So that tells you anything.
Lights on, so out. I don't have no stage fright. Knew that I was built for this forever, ever, ever. All my friends, we ride Beamers, we ride Benz.